Okay, I just wanted to quickly record this video. A lot of people ask me, how did I know I was ready for marriage when I was younger, and even now, how was I able to get my husband to marry me, and why won't, their boyfriends or their girlfriend, accept their proposal or marry them? And one thing I gotta say is, it has to be completely in God's hands. God has the final say about everything. And when I decided that I wanted a husband, I was maybe 17, 18 years old. And I was just so used to what was, I guess, in then, having the boyfriend, having the guy, and or multiple boyfriends, and just getting them to do whatever you want, or whatever, being spoiled by them. And me at the time, I was just, okay, this is what it is, until I got sick of it. I didn't want that guy that just wanted to come around when he was bored or needed somebody to talk to. And I didn't want to just be that person temporarily. I wanted like a permanent thing. And when I decided I wanted a husband, I asked God to help me to get a husband, put me around the right people that will prepare me to be a wife. And God told me that I can't go searching for a husband, for a man who finds a wife, finds a good thing, and I have to, be ready. So God placed people in my life that were, Naomi, and I was like the Ruth. So people place Naomi's in my life that would help prepare me, for my husband. And one big influence on my life preparing me for my husband was my sister Angel. And one thing she said, was to make a vision board and, write down on everything that you want. And even when it comes down to your husband, write down everything that you want out your husband, everything that you expect him to be. Whether you expect him to be responsible, you expect him to be, a real manly man or a handyman or whatever the case may be, just make sure you write everything down. And I took it. Sorry, that's my baby in the floor making noises. But hey baby. But one thing that I wrote down was, I want a man that knows how to take responsibility. And I want a man who knows how to be a man. I want a man that isn't immature. I want somebody that's older than I am. And at the time, I think I was 18. Yeah, I was 18 going on 19. Yeah, 18 going on 19. And I told God, wrote on paper that, I want somebody who knows how to handle his business. I want somebody, who basically, who he is. I wanted a man that loves God more than he loves me, because I didn't want to take the place or be in a place of somebody of God, or somebody idolizing me, and God is jealous, and I didn't want him to remove my husband out the way, or moving me out the way, just because my husband loves me too much, or whatever the case may be. Okay, come on. Okay, this is Cody. Say hi. Say hi. Okay. Anyways, some time went by, and some imposters began to try to come in and take the place of my husband, or try to, and I've been asked, my hand has been asked in marriage multiple times than I can count. And before I knew that they were imposters, I was told that, when you pray, especially praying out loud, the devil can hear your prayer too. And the devil knows how to tempt you. He knows what you like. He knows what you want. So he's going to try to bring those things forward into your life, to try to distract you, or to try to put things, in the place of your husband, just so you won't meet him and you won't, love him, or, you won't have that chance to really encounter him. So imposters came, and I almost fell for one of them. But I thank God that I did. And I thank God for wisdom. I thank God for discernment. I thank God for teaching me to try the spirit by the spirit, and to try the fruit, that it bears. And I had male friends that were a little too much, a little too close to my heart, and a little too much in my face. And one thing that God told me to do was to, let go. And he said, how can I bless you when your hands are closed? How can I put something in your hand when your hands are too tied up with other stuff? The moment you release, those things and those other people, open your hands, then I can bless you. So some time went by, and I let go of everybody and everything. And then God said, okay, now you gotta, sanctify yourself and purify yourself and keep your body holy and keep your body, pure. So then he's like, I wasn't having sex with anybody. I wasn't, displaying myself or exposing myself to anyone at that, in no kind of way whatsoever. And a little while after that, like, it came so quickly. I don't even know how long it had been in between the time where I had let everyone go. And I found myself, having friends here and there just because I felt like I needed to have that attention because I was so used to it. And I had stopped smoking weed, I had stopped drinking, I had stopped partying as much or whatever. And I noticed that, that, like I said, there were people that were still in my life that didn't need to be there. And one day, I think it was like maybe a Tuesday, I don't know. I was driving to my local McDonald's, and I seen a guy in the drive-thru. And when I seen him, I was with a male friend of mine, and I was saying, hey, what's up? I think he's cute. Can you get his number for me? And so my best friend, of course, after some deliberations and questioning to see whether I was really my best friend's girl or not, he gave me his number. And I was kind of skeptical about calling just because I had experienced maybe like 7 imposters. So I was just like, I'm done with the games and the foolishness, so I don't really want to go through it if it's another, dude pretending to be my blessing and he's really not. So my mom and my husband, we immediately hit it right off the bat. And, when we went on our first date, I had to let him know, I'm, holding out until marriage. And, I don't want you to think you're going to go on a date with me and you're going to get something from it. And any man that says, F you and walk away from you and despises you after that isn't for you to begin with. Or it shouldn't even be in your vocabulary. And their name shouldn't be growing through your thoughts or anything. Like, no. That's not a man if they disrespect you just because you won't sleep with them. Like, So my husband, he respected that. And he said, okay, I dig that. I can respect that. And, he was in church himself. And he was, I think, the soundboard guy or the sound guy in the back in the booth or whatever for his church. And we kind of hit it off because we had multiple things in common, and we talked about, we took our love for the Lord and our love for God. And one thing that I loved to see was him worship, worship God with his heart. Even though he couldn't sing, when he would worship, it would be something that was greater than singing, It was like his heart was singing. And to see him worship, made me, I guess, more attracted to him than I ever thought I would be. And some time went by, and we had a few tests and a few runs just to see whether we were going to really love each other, whether we really were going to stick by each other, and whether we really were going to trust God or not. And we had an incident where we almost actually broke up because we thought we weren't meant for each other, because we thought God had chose another, in place of me. I thought God chose another in place of me for him. So I was kind of, iffy and, stuck, whatever. But God, worked everything out and showed me in multiple ways that this is my husband. And even though I had got mixed signals from certain people that I should not have been listened to in the beginning, about my relationship, not ask people, about, relationships and what should I do when certain things happen when they couldn't keep a relationship themselves. And I didn't go to godly counsel like I should have. I went to people, to my homegirl Kiki and, Boo Boo down the block and whatever else. I'm not going to get no names, but I went to certain people. and ask them about relationships when they couldn't keep a husband, or they couldn't keep, a man themselves. And that's where I went wrong. That's what almost ruined my marriage, to be totally honest. But it's just, I just want to encourage you guys, just to wait on God. God's going to send the right one, and continue to pray. If you haven't even started, continue to pray for your spouse. Even if they're not in your life, you continue to pray for them. Pray for the children that they may already have, or for their parents and their siblings, and for their job, and just for their bloodline in general, for every generation in their bloodline. Pray that any generational curses in their bloodline will be broken, because you don't want that passed down to your children and your children's children. Just prepare yourself. Help God. Ask God to teach you how to be humble, and how to be, ready, and how to work as a team, to be a team player. Ask God to teach you how to be slow to speak, how to be slow to speak and quick to listen. Ask God to teach you how to, put yourself aside, and how to be compassionate, and how to be understanding. Ask God for discernment and wisdom. Ask God just to help you along this journey. And ask God just to send you your husband wife when you're ready. Because you don't want to scream and ask God like a spoiled brat to give you your husband wife now, and you're too immature to handle it, and then you end up ruining, what you should have had, and you end up messing it up because you so immaturely destroyed it, because you weren't wise enough to take care of it. When God bless you with something, He will keep you in it. God blessed me with my husband, and God has blessed me to keep my husband. God blessed me with a husband, and God has taught me how to be an awesome wife in more ways than one. And it's all about letting God get in the glory. God didn't do this. If Danielle would have stuck her hand in the cookie jar and tried to pull out the perfect cookie, Danielle would have pulled out the rotten thing at the very bottom. So even though both me and my husband were messed up, like mentally, spiritually, emotionally messed up, even our hearts, we were toe up in our hearts because we were hurt so bad. God blessed us to where we were the piece, that completed one another. I completed him, and he completed me, even though I didn't see it then. We looked at each other like this is it, like this is my husband, this is my wife. My husband was just like, this woman is crazy, she this, she that, or whatever, and she's not really what I'm. My husband he would tell you all the time, I'm not the type of person that he would normally go after, like, at all. I'm not the type of girl that he will be seen with, like, at all. And me, I was so out of the box for him that he was just like, I don't know, this the one. And he was kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when I met him. So I'm like, this could not be him, or whatever. It can be, but maybe it ain't. I don't know. And when we look at each other and said, okay, this person's missing the arm, this person missing the leg, this person missing half a heart. But I didn't know then that he had all the other pieces that I didn't have, and he had all the characteristics that I didn't have, and he had, he was stern and I was nice. I would give my shirt to the person down the street who had 10 shirts but just wanted another shirt because they felt like they needed one. They felt so depressed that they needed one. My husband was the one that would see right through that bull crap and be like, no, you ain't giving him nothing because he's just trying to use you. And where he's hot, I'm cold, he's mean, I'm nice. Not that it's mean all the time, I'm gonna get that correct. But we totally complete each other, like completely complete each other. And I just want to encourage all of you guys, let God do it. It ain't all what it look like. If God send your husband, he got a missing tooth, you better believe, you're gonna be one to complete that, like, for real. And God knows what you want, even though he may not look the way you want him to look, and he may not sound the way you want him to sound, and he may not have the job that you want him to have. Just know that God's gonna work it out. And my husband, when we first got together, we had down times where we were both out of work. I had just had a baby. I think he had quit his job because he went to another job, and I think he got fired or something like that. And so we were both kind of, like, stuck in a rut. Like, okay, what do we do now? We're just allowing God to take full control, him being the man that he was, and being the provider that he was, that he knew he had to be, you know, being responsible enough to, you know, catch the bus, you know, to Dearborn Heights. And at the time we stayed in Detroit, catching the bus to Dearborn Heights, coming home for 2 hours, then catching the bus to Roseville, being out there for 8 hours, and then coming back home for 30 minutes to, in between 30 minutes and 2 hours, getting a nap, eating something, and then going back out to Dearborn Heights. You know, it was different, but, you know, and it was hard sometimes, but I thank God that he brought us through. Don't always look at what it looked like, okay? I just want to encourage you guys. Be ready for your husband when he gets here, because you don't want him looking at you and being like, okay, God, I asked you for a wife and this is it, or I asked you for a husband and this is it. You know, it ain't always what it looked like. Don't always look at what it looked like, okay? And don't give yourself away to somebody that isn't your husband. If he use that word, well, we gonna be married anyway, so you might as well, you know, or I'm gonna marry you anyway, so what's stopping you now? Or, you know, you're gonna have my baby one day, so why not now? And just little stuff that men say. Honey child, please. And chicks be like, well, if he buy me a car, then, you know, we're gonna be married anyway. It's gonna be our car in the end, and whatever. If he pay my rent today, you know, because we're gonna be living together anyways, or whatever it can be. I just want to let you guys know, don't fall for that crap, okay? All right, you guys be blessed. Hey, but want to say hi in the video? Okay, he said no. All right, that's my husband. I'm sorry. All right, you guys be blessed, okay? Bye.